All right, so once again appears that another one has bit the dust. It says Florida radio host, quote, Mr. Anti-Vax dies of COVID-19. Yesterday I put up a video about a story in which an anti-mask leader over in Texas, who was also anti-vax, died of coronavirus. So now this is simply another one. So it says a conservative Florida radio host who dubbed himself Mr. Anti-Vax and criticized the COVID-19 vaccine died of the coronavirus on Saturday. In a statement posted to Twitter, radio station News Daytona Beach WNDB confirmed Marc Bernier's death, writing that he, quote, informed and entertained listeners on WNDB for over 30 years. It continued, we kindly ask that privacy is given to Marc's family during this time of grief. You're very public about being anti-vax, and then when you die of coronavirus, your family needs privacy. Definitely makes a lot of sense. And so when you look at this guy, he's an old dude. He's a geezer, obviously. This is the weirdest part about all this, too, because the dude that I covered yesterday, he was overweight. So Andy he looked like he's probably 30, 40, something like that. So, these people are people in high-risk groups for coronavirus, and yet they're the most vocal about actually being anti-vax. Isn't that weird? It seems like there's such a big amount of people who are in actually the high-risk groups. These are the people who say 99% survival rate, blah, blah, blah. And the high-risk group people are the ones who are being the most anti-vax. He was 65, by the way, so he's put into that high-risk category. It says Bernier, 65, succumbed to the disease 3 weeks after becoming infected. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood, who appeared several times on Bernier's show, referred to the news as a death in the family. I'm numb, he said, noting that while he and Bernier didn't always agree, they remained friends over the years, according to the News-Journal. Bernier's death comes months after he vowed on the air that he would never get the coronavirus vaccine. Are you kidding me, Mr. Anti-Vax? Jeepers. He responded when asked in December if he would consider getting the jab, according to News-Journal. Since Florida has become the epicenter of COVID-19 in the U.S. in recent months, with doctors in the state urging people to get vaccinated. So this guy was very openly anti-vax. He was 65 years old. He catches coronavirus and he dies. So, if you're somebody who's anti-vax, just look at all the people who are dying of coronavirus. And I think it's really important for people to cover these kinds of stories because people are amplifying the bullshit about they report on like every individual case of like a breakthrough coronavirus case, which in those times people don't even die, but the breakthrough cases are so rare in and of themselves. So it's important to highlight these stories and to explain that coronavirus can kill you. We don't know necessarily what even the long-term effects are going to be. And even people who like caught COVID-19, I don't know how long, like let's say you survive and I got the natural antibodies. I don't know how long that shit's finna last, dog. I really don't know. We're even gonna have to get a booster here soon. But the vaccine has very high efficacy rates, obviously. Very good at protecting you from hospitalization and death. It is a preventative measure, so once you get hospitalized, it's too late for the vaccine because it will take multiple weeks for it to take effect. And so the herd seems to be thinning in that a lot of right-wingers, especially people who are very anti-vax, seem to be dying in quite high numbers at this point. So I don't know if this is going to change people's mindset, but this guy obviously just put out a bunch of negative energy towards being against life. So, I don't feel any semblance of bad for this guy. He's destroying society with his rhetoric. And, another one bites the dust.